My skin eats everything.
I've been in a crazy health and wellness journey.
I haven't worked out and the last
Is so much better than any facial I've ever done.
worked out in the last a little bit over 2 weeks now, which is definitely a big break for me. But I finally decided on which Pilates workouts I'm gonna try and kind of transition out of HIIT. I am going to just try to ease back into working out first and just get a sense of how Pilates feels on my body in general and on my knees specifically, because that's pretty much the whole reason. And so I'm gonna stick with the Sweat app for the first couple of weeks because they do have these beginners Pilates workouts and I still have a subscription with them. So I'm just gonna take it slow and get a feel for it. And then I found this platform and I've searched through so many Pilates apps and trainers and accounts and all of that, and I found the one that I really like, and I think I'm gonna enjoy doing it, hopefully. And so I'm gonna try that maybe in a few weeks when I'm a bit more back into this full-on workout mode. And if I like it, I'll definitely recommend it to you guys.
I've been in a crazy health and wellness journey recently. That's the current situation. I'm getting an IV drip with all kinds of vitamins and good stuff. I'm going to try and list them out here because it's too many to name. But in the past few weeks, I've tried everything from cryotherapy to hyperbaric oxygen chamber to infrared sauna, red light therapy, IV drips, hydrafacial, compression. Yeah, a lot of things that I've never tried before, and it's a very interesting experience. But you know, I'm always super curious about all things wellness and I want to discover and try new things. So I'm kind of very happy and excited that I got to try so many different things and really experiment with my body a little bit, but in the best way possible. So I'll definitely share the benefits that each treatment brings and also how it made me feel, if it made any difference in my day-to-day state of being, and if it's worth it or not. So you guys can also decide for yourself if you want to try it or implement it into your lifestyle. Alright, so the lighting is not great here, but I want you guys to see my skin before the hydrafacial. Let's hope that the esthetician is going to do her magic and I'm going to transform. My skin eats everything, and so I put a lot of oils because that's the only thing that can keeps me like feel hydrated for like an hour at least.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
This is the exfoliator.
That was so nice. So relaxing. So this is me after. Definitely more glow, feel more hydrated. I'm excited to see how my face looks like tomorrow morning and for the next couple of days and in the better lighting, because I just wanted to show you guys the results in the same lighting so you can compare, but so far definitely happy. All right, you guys, I am ready to share all the truth about my experiences with the services I've tried. And now that I've tried them a few times each and some time has passed in between, I really got a better sense of how that made me feel and the effect it had on me. I do have my favorites out of the list of the services and treatments that I've tried, and I'm gonna list them out again for you guys so that you know what I'm gonna be talking about. Of course, I want to make a disclaimer, check in with your doctor, especially if you have any medical conditions before you try any of them. All right, so I'm going to start with a cryotherapy because I think that one was one of the most exciting ones for me to try. Both like scary and exciting, because when you think of an idea of going into a freezer, essentially, for 3 minutes, it kind of freaks you out. And I absolutely loved that experience, just like a spoiler alert.
because when you get through, not only you feel like a bit of a sense of an achievement, but also you truly feel so much lighter in your body. It's like a mini reset of your whole body system in the middle of the day. And there are a lot of benefits to it. So a lot of athletes do it because it helps them to recover faster. It reduces inflammation or even some of the chronic pain in their muscles and joints and so on. And then also it boosts your immune system. It helps with your blood circulation and flow improvement. It also helps you sleep better. So there's so many great things about it, and I think exposure to cold in general is something that we naturally are supposed to be experiencing every year, and our body really builds our immune system through it. Some people also use cryotherapy for weight loss purposes because your body burns more calories when it's so freezing, because it takes more energy to keep the temperature the right level so that you don't freeze to death. I wasn't interested in that side of it, and actually I didn't like that side of it because I felt so hungry afterwards that day that I ate so much. I was like, oh my god, what is this hunger? And I actually forgot that I did a cryotherapy, and then I realized that. So I don't like that hunger spike, and so it definitely takes it out of you a little bit. Like, it really, at the end of the day, you really feel winded, like you really want to go to bed early, you're kind of more tired. Would I recommend it or not? Definitely would, but with one but, if you can do it consistently. Because I think if you do it just like once a month, you don't really feel the full spectrum of benefits. You really need that build up or compound interest. And I know some of the famous athletes, they do like twice a day and then plus the cold plunge. So this like exposure to cold therapy definitely helps with recovery and how your body feels, and to reduce inflammation, all of those great things. But you gotta do it, I think, at least like once a day or a few times a week to truly feel the results. Next one is red light therapy, and that one you probably have seen so many masks nowadays you can buy with a red light therapy, or even these like huge red light panels that a lot of people buy and just keep them at home so that they can do this exposure to red light every single day, full body. And actually, I would definitely recommend it if you can afford it and you can just have it at your home and expose yourself to red light for like 10 minutes or 15 minutes every morning. I think that is just the best. It also helps to reduce inflammation of your skin and fight acne. So overall, the number one benefit of the red light therapy is to improve your skin condition and help to sustain healthy collagen production levels. Just like with cryotherapy, it definitely has to be consistent to see the results and to maintain the results and to maintain your collagen production levels throughout the years as you age. And so if you can afford to buy the red light panels and just have them at home, I'm going to try and find like average cost or some options for you guys and link them down below. But if you can afford that, I think that's going to save so much money in the long term. The next one is probably the craziest experience out of all of these ones, and that was the hyperbaric oxygen chamber. And I've seen so many celebrities and athletes also do it, and some of them actually do it for mental health because this increased oxygenation really helps to calm your mind and just feel better emotionally and mentally. But also there are so many benefits to your body and your physical health. I think the number one benefit is that it promotes overall healing and regeneration of your body with so much oxygen going to your body. It also helps to reduce any pain or swelling happening in your body, reduces inflammation, reduces effects of any bacteria and toxins within your body as well, boosts collagen. It helps to build and repair blood cells and just overall cells, any damaged cells as well for that matter. So the level of regeneration with this increased oxygenation in your body is just out of this world. And so that's why I think so many people now even buy these chambers and have them at home so they can do this, you know, more often, probably every day. It is an expensive one to buy. I'll also find a cost, or I'll just link it down below if you guys are curious. But it's definitely one of the most helpful practices to have in our current environment, because we definitely don't get enough oxygen. We also don't breathe well. So I think those sessions of increased oxygenation are so beneficial for our body, especially for healing purposes. In terms of the experience itself, it's definitely an interesting one. And I think some people who tend to feel a bit more claustrophobic in small spaces might not enjoy this one as much, because even though there are different sizes of these chambers, and I actually chose a bigger one, the one where you can sit inside, And so overall it's like a bigger space, but it's still pretty small. And basically you just get inside, you get zipped up, and then it gets compressed, the air gets compressed. So actually the first few minutes you feel like you're in the airplane that takes off in terms of how your ears feel and just the overall. And then you just start getting so much oxygen that I thought I would be like on my phone or read a book for like a whole hour, because it's an hour. But instead, all you want to do is just to nap. Like you really just want to nap. And actually they say it's a good thing, because when you nap with so much oxygen, your body really goes into a deeper regeneration phase. And so that's kind of what naturally happened. And I loved it. Would I recommend it? Absolutely yes, if you can afford it, if you can do it often, as often as you can. I think this one is not really the one that I think you need to be doing every day. It's good if you can, but it's not like with a cryo or red light therapy. But if you can do it every now and then, as many times as you can do, I think that's definitely helpful for your body's physical health and even mental health as well. Next one is compression, and that one is a really fun one actually. I enjoyed it a lot. I've never really heard of it before. This was the first time I even found out that that exists. And basically you can choose the area of your body, either legs or your arms, or you can do your hips. And so you put on this huge kind of suit on whatever body part you chose. And the sensation is like when they take your blood pressure, you know, on your arm, and it like squeezes your arm and then releases very slowly. That's kind of what happens. And it does it like in different sections. And so you feel that increased gradual compression and then it releases. And so it's really good for your blood circulation. When I took it off and I got up, I think the best way to describe it, I felt like my legs were younger. Like I felt like my legs were younger, they were lighter. The biggest benefit of compression, of course, it helps to recover faster, it helps with any muscle pain, swelling, inflammation. But also if you do it specifically on the legs, it helps with varicose veins or any venous insufficiencies, kind of like that area. So would I recommend it or not? Definitely yes. But once again, I think just like with the red light therapy, I don't think it's worth going to a special wellness spot and always pay that amount of money for a session. I think if you can afford it, and especially if it's something that helps you with either performance recovery or varicose veins situation, I think it's worth considering to invest and buy it so you can do it at home as often as you can. And in the long run, once again, it's gonna save you so much money. Next one, and I think my absolute favorite one of all that I've tried, is the infrared sauna. And I think I've tried it only once before when I was in Korea. It was in our hotel. But I really, at that point, I didn't know what benefits it brings. And I was just like, wow, such an interesting sauna concept. Like it's not that harsh in your face heat situation like in a typical sauna that I'm used to. So infrared sauna is very different from a typical sauna because it doesn't bring heat or humidity, it doesn't heat the air around you. But instead it uses this infrared light, which is the invisible region of electromagnetic spectrum, to heat or warm your body from the inside instead of just like heating the air around you. And so that in itself has incredible healing properties, helps you detox, it also, your skin glows. Actually, that's what I noticed right after. I was like, oh my God, the infrared sauna effect afterwards is so much better than any facial I've ever done. I also just felt more relaxed and happier afterwards, like right away, you know? It really does something to you. And I think out of all of these services that I've shared with you so far, this is the one where I felt the most positive result and the most instant one as well. So that's why I'm going to be sticking with this practice going forward, and I'm going to try and do infrared sauna at least once a week, and if I can do even more often, but at the very least I want to commit to once a week and see how I feel. But right now I'm just a convert. I'm like, how in the world I'm only discovering this right now? And I think one day my life mission okay, life mission has been dramatic, but my wellness kind of goal or wish is to have infrared sauna at home. I know right now there are infrared blankets by the higher dose, and I think Goop also sells, but maybe also higher dose ones. And so it's like a blanket in which you get in, like your whole body goes in. But I would love to have an infrared sauna at home in the future so I can do it every morning after a workout. And another tip here, if you alternate infrared sauna followed by the cryotherapy, it boosts the results of both so much, like it takes you to the next level. The only tricky part, because I've tried that, and the only tricky part, you cannot go into a cryotherapy with anything on your body being wet, so you really need to dry really well for infrared sauna, which is kind of tricky because you sweat so much in there, and then of course you want to take a shower and your hair is wet, so it's a whole thing. And I think for girls it's a bit even more complicated than for guys, because a lot of male athletes, they do exactly that order. And so I would definitely recommend it, because afterwards you feel just like a new person after infrared and then cryo. But it's just that space in between, you got to make sure you dry out completely before you go into cryo, because you don't want to freeze in there with like anything wet. Like that's not the experience you want. Last one, but not the least, is the IV vitamin therapy drip. And I wanted to try it for so long. I've heard so much about it. And also I take these things super seriously, because as you guys know, I've been vegan for 11 years. I check my blood for vitamins and minerals every single year. Well, I try to stick it to a yearly checkup. Sometimes it's like once every 2 years. And so far I don't have any deficiencies, so I'm doing pretty good in terms of my nutrition and vitamins and minerals levels. I also do alternate certain supplements throughout the year, but this is just such a good boost to give your system. It also adds a bit of more hydration, and then you can choose what vitamins and minerals you want to combine. And I definitely felt the result almost instantly with the drip, because it's kind of like you feel more energized, but at the more calmer energy levels, like a sustained energy. You know, it's almost like coffee versus matcha, so that was like a matcha energy vibe. By the way, you guys, this is my skin after the hydrafacial that I did, I think at this point 3 days ago. So it definitely is, I mean, I'm wearing makeup, so it's hard to tell, but I filmed for you the before and after the procedure itself. I definitely felt the difference. Your skin just breathed more, it's smoother, there's more glow for sure. And I think the biggest benefit of the hydrafacial is that it extracts all the bad stuff, the dead cells and all of that. And also, you know, all the product that you put in every day can just your pores and your skin. And so I think once you really cleanse it so deeply, then all the product goes in and it's just your skin feels so much better and rejuvenates. So this is something that I think I would love to do every 6 weeks or every 2 months. I wouldn't say it's like the best facial in the world and made me feel like the most beautiful skin afterwards, or the biggest change in my skin, because I'm pretty happy with my skin in general, but I always want to also give it a bit of a love and support, you know, and cleanse it. So I think for cleansing, that's really good. But I also do a lot of exfoliation, kind of like regularly myself at home, and I do masks. So I always try to cleanse my skin as deeply as possible. But I think as a supplemental, once again, every couple of months, I think it's a good facial to get in so that your skin absorbs more product and just feels like a baby's butt skin, you know?